Welcome to a Return to Oneness. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. Today's discussion is Learning to Master Your Triggers, Part 2, the 8 Steps to Overcoming Your Triggers. There are 8 steps to use once you recognize that you have been triggered. Each time you become triggered by some person, place, thing, or circumstance, mentally go through each one. As you use them, you will quickly discover that they take very little time to complete within your mind. However, it is also important that you feel the freedom each one offers you as you move from one to the next. Yes, feel the freedom that you are gifting yourself, for these steps are a gift given by you to you. They are the gift of mastery. These steps are in accord with the spiritual law of love, which is the overarching law of the universe. It is the one law which drives the other laws. What is this most powerful law? It is but this: that which you give another, you gift but unto yourself. Although this discussion is on learning how to master your triggers, it is helpful to recognize that the steps work directly because of the laws. In other words, the steps work with the laws, not in opposition to them. What are the spiritual laws? Also known as the laws of God, they govern everything that is seen as well as everything unseen in all dimensions of reality. They work on both the micro and macro levels. They cannot hurt you, they but serve to protect you. The laws cannot be usurped, nor can they be negated. However, they can be denied. But even in denial, they continue to work, for the laws govern the outcome of every thought, feeling, and belief you hold and entertain within your mind. Furthermore, the laws govern the outcome of every one of your actions, whether your action is a reaction or response. And it is for this reason that if you react once triggered, you will experience conflict, internally as well as externally. The steps work within the framework of the laws so that peace is the inevitable outcome. For without peace, you cannot know your true self, nor can you be in Christ consciousness. Why is this? The answer is but a simple one. Peace is the prerequisite for the return of Christ consciousness to your mind. In truth, without peace, you have nothing. But why is peace so important? First, come now to recognize that peace is everything. And this is meant quite literally, for God is everything. And since He is everything, then God is peace. It is for this reason that if you are in a state of conflict, you are in a state of nothingness, because peace, like God, is everything. For to be in a state of nothingness is to be in a state without everything, and to be in a state of nothing is to be in a state of conflict. Yet the time has come for you to understand that peace is not the absence of conflict. For you cannot define peace by its opposite, because peace, like God, has no opposite, since it is everything. If this is the case, as it certainly is, what then is peace? Peace is simply defined as a state of being tranquil, where the word tranquil carries the meaning having a mind that is free from turmoil. Furthermore, the word turmoil is defined as a state of being confused or confounded, and the word confound carries the meaning to damn. The ramification of this becomes strikingly clear once you realize that the word damn carries with it the implication to condemn, which means to judge another or yourself as guilty. Therefore, peace is to have a mind free of judgments. Thus, it is a state of being free from judging anyone or anything. If you are familiar with the Bible at all, then you will probably recognize the following verse. The Father judges no one, but has given all judgment to the Son. These are the words said by Jesus, as found in the book of John, chapter 5, verse 22. Then, just 3 chapters later, it is written in John, chapter 8, verse 15, that Jesus said, "You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one." Therefore, if you look closely at what Jesus was saying, it is why he could declare with absolute certainty and authority that he and the Father were one. Furthermore, it is the very reason that Jesus is referred to as the Prince of Peace, for his mind, just like God's, is free from judgments. Therefore, they live in a state of peace. As such, peace is their state of being. However, there are many in this world who firmly believe that God and Jesus will judge the wicked and condemn them to hell for all eternity. Yet, if this were true, wouldn't Jesus had said so himself? Instead, he said quite emphatically that neither he nor the Father judge anyone. Do you yet realize that if either stood in judgment or condemned anyone, they too would be as conflicted as man is? For judgment creates conflict as surely as love creates peace. But what did Jesus mean when he said, "You judge by the flesh"? If his words are taken in the literal context, then it would appear that Jesus was simply referring to the body or human nature overall. Yet, you may be surprised to learn that the word flesh has a much deeper implication, especially as it relates to this biblical verse. And this deeper meaning is hidden within the origin of the word. For the word flesh comes from an Old English word meaning to flay. Furthermore, the word flay has the implication to excoriate, which means to censure scathingly. And it is within the implication of the word censure as to where the hidden implication of the word flesh is found. For the word censure simply means the act of blaming. Therefore, when Jesus said, "You judge by the flesh," he was letting us know that we judge by blaming. But what does it mean to blame? What is the implication? The word blame is simply defined as to hold another person, a group of people, or some other thing or circumstance responsible for what you believe is happening to you. And to blame anyone or anything for your current situation or a past event is to abrogate the spiritual law of responsibility. What is this law, the law of responsibility? It is but this: you are responsible for what you see and experience. You choose the feelings you would experience, and you decide upon the goals you would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to you, you asked for and received as asked. In other words, the short version of this law is simply this: you are the creator of all you see and experience. As such, you are the creator of your reality. Furthermore, you create your reality by the very beliefs you hold sacrosanct about yourself, others, and the world around you. For example, if you believe that you are an easy prey and a target for those who perpetrate crimes against those who are weaker, then you will create experiences which will but demonstrate and reflect back unto you that very belief. Therefore, you will believe yourself to be a victim more and more frequently. Why is this? Because each experience created from that belief serves but to strengthen that belief. And for no other purpose save this does the experience serve. However, if you believe in the goodness of people, you will but create experiences which reflect back unto you the goodness in people. Again, you can but see and experience what you believe to be true and real about others, yourself, the world, and even God Himself. Likewise, you cannot see and experience what you do not believe. All of this is in accordance with the spiritual laws. Thus, the steps to learning how to master your triggers are but guidestones to help you relinquish judgment. For judging, as it has been previously described, can only create a reaction from within you once you have been triggered. And judging only creates internal conflict, which will be seen and experienced in the external. Yet, in order to experience peace, even though you may have been triggered, you must learn to actively lay aside the underlying desire to judge whoever or whatever triggered you and respond only by sharing love. And this can only be accomplished if you can respond in and from Christ consciousness. The steps will help guide you in such a task. They will enable you to put aside the desire to judge and thus become a victim. And by doing so, you will come to feel your power, the power of Christ, returning to your mind. Then, as Christ consciousness is returned to your mind, you will feel and experience the peace that passeth understanding, settle throughout not only your mind, but the whole of your being. Then you will experience heaven, which is but your birthright. although each step will be discussed in greater detail. Here are the steps in a simple yet easily remembered format. Step 1, be grateful. Step 2, choose not to react. Step 3, choose Christ consciousness. Step 4, choose to release the story. Step 5, recognize the judgments made. Step 6, forgive. Step 7, behold the Christ. And finally, Step 8, declare freedom. These steps may at first appear daunting, but if you will provide the tiny bit of willingness to see them through each time you are triggered, you will quickly find that they flow effortlessly and seamlessly from one to the next. For it will be the awakened Christ within you who not only overcame temptations, but the world as well, who will carry you through each of them. You need do nothing but allow the Christ to do for you what you have been unable to do for yourself. You may find it beneficial to write the steps on something that you can easily refer to when needed. You might also want to include any statements that are found in the explanation of each step. This will only reinforce the choice to respond rather than to react. This concludes Learning to Master Your Triggers, Part 2. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and joy to all.